Sometimes we forget that God is a real person and not a program. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about sometimes we forget that God is a real person and not a program. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as though, man, sometimes we just forget, bro, that God is a real person. God is a real person who feels. God is a real person who thinks. Like, literally, God is like a real person. You know, like when you walking out in real life, you know what I'm saying, and you meet a real person, it's like, bro, sometimes we forget that God is actually like a real person. You know what I'm saying? God is a spirit, but God is like a real person, not a program. And I feel like a lot of time when we pray to God, and a lot of times in our relationship with God, we could just start to feel as though God is this program with all these rules and, you know what I'm saying, not a real person. And it really impacts our relationship with God. Basically, how we view God impacts our relationship with God, and it makes like a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to view God like as a program, we need to view God as like a real person with like real emotions and the real thoughts. And you know what I'm saying? We need to understand that God is a real person. And as simple as this message may sound, you will be surprised when a lot of people envision what they think God is or what they believe God is. It's like in their relationship with God, you could feel as though they not feeling like as though God is a real person. They feel as though God is a program. And this is something that could just happen without even realizing it. You could just start to feel as though, man, is God even a real person for real? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know real people in your life, and you know people you talk to in your life, like real people, right? But when you think of God, it's like you just envision like a program. Like, man, is this like a real person with emotions and feelings and thoughts and this and that? Like, and I feel like sometimes it could be easy to forget that God is a real person. God is not just God is not this program, bro. God is like a real person, bro. It's not this program, man, with all these rules and all this stuff. A program you can't even talk to, and a program that doesn't understand you. I feel like once we really just start to apply God being a real person to our life, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that would really like improve our relationship with God. Just really like understanding that God is a real person, that it's like that real, like, I don't know how to explain it. Just feel like that realism, bro. Like God is not some program up there in the sky and so far away from us, doesn't understand the things that we go through, doesn't feel where we're coming from, just a program of rules. No, bro, you gotta understand as God is a real person who understands how you feel, who understands the things that you go through, who has feelings of his own, who has thoughts of his own, bro. Know what I'm saying? Same way like you would meet a person in real life and really like sit down and really talk to the person and like this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm telling you, it's like the same way, but the difference is when we really talking to God, it's like, bro, we just gotta come from a more humble, more respectful place, but at the same time, bro, God is a real person, bro. You know what I'm saying? God is a real person with feelings, emotions, thoughts, desires, and much more, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I caught myself doing. It just got to a point sometimes you just start to drift off into the idea of God being a program. Like I said, bro, sometimes you just start drifting away, bro. It's like a mental drift. You start drifting slowly into believing that God is a program. It's like you lose this connection of God being like real, like a real person. You lose that realism of who God is. And then when you start to lose it, it's like the connection just starts to break. And then you start to feel as though God is this program not a real person who understands and this and that, bro. But I'm trying to tell you, bro, always maintain that connection that God is a real person. Always maintain that perspective that God is a real person. Always maintain that understanding and just that connection with God that, hey, bro, God is a real person, bro. You'll be surprised how many people be walking around feeling like God is a program. Now, they might not even know that they're doing it. Sometimes it just your mind just starts to drift. Your spirit and your heart, it starts to drift away from God, and the connection just breaks. Then you just start to feel as though God is a program. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even know that they feel as though that God is a program. They don't even know, because they've been drifting away from God so long, they start to forget that God is a real person. When we really grasp the fact that God is a real person and not a program, that will really, like, the way our relationship with God would improve. Just really keeping that in mind at all times, bro. Like, God is a real person, bro. Just really, like, keeping that in mind, bro. That will keep our relationship with God, bro, on a different level, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It will really help our relationship with God, bro. Because now it's like we are keeping that that realism, you know what I'm saying? That spiritual realism on, like, hey, bro, I'm following like a real guy, like a real person. Like, God is not dead, bro. God is real. God is not no program. God is not dead. God is not deaf. God is not blind. God is not dead. Don't you know how many times we feel as though God is blind and God is deaf? Bro, let's keep it real. We feel like that. We feel like we're praying and we feel like God is deaf sometimes. We feel like we're going through things and we feel like God is blind sometimes. But I'm telling you, God is not blind. God is not deaf. God is not no program. God is a real person who sees and hears and feels and understands all the things that we go through, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just really bring out that level of just realism and just keeping that realism of just understanding that, hey, God is a real person, man. As simple as this message would sound, bro, like, a lot of people just drifted away from believing that God is a real person. Yeah, they still claim God. Yeah, they still trying to love God and trying to follow God, but it's like they just lost that connection that, man, God is a real person. They just started to feel like God is like this tedious program that we got to go through. You know what I'm saying? No, bro, God is a real person. And when you really just get back to believing that and walking in that, it would change your prayer life. It would change just everything, bro. It would really, like, take things to the next level, bro. God is a real person and not a program, man. And that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, man. Peace.